Hi there, welcome. This young guy is keen to learn the reason for the aliens' presence on Earth after encountering them. The discovery will surprise him. In 1979, Carl, a guy from Wrangell, Alaska, was on his way home from work. His friend's truck in front of him abruptly shot into the air as he was operating his own. He stepped out of his truck to investigate after theirs collided with his. He then fled after spotting an odd item flying above his head. Upon running into the woods, he became aware that the odd thing was just above him. The odd device began to raise him off the ground, and a beam emerged from it, making his body rigid. In the present, a young man called Isaac Cypers shows up at his workplace, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. He and his friend Beck play a game in which Isaac must locate a signal that Beck sends using NASA satellites. Although he locates the signal with ease, Beck claims that it is not the signal he sent. Since there are no registered satellites in Canada, they find it odd that the signal was delivered from there. Isaac gives Beck a copy of this signal to look for later as a joke. Later that evening, Isaac is working when a signal from an unidentified space source reaches his computer. A large amount of random code is included in the signal. Isaac is intrigued by what is happening. After that, his therapist suggests that he start recording videos so that he may start carrying his camera everywhere. One day, Isaac is sitting there creating a video journal after a vacation when a meteorite crashes close by. The arrival of fighter planes and distant sirens alert Isaac to the impending closure of the entire region. In order to evade detection and expulsion by the authorities, he hides in the bushes. A UFO is spotted by him as he travels to the location where the meteorite crashed. As Isaac switches on the camera to capture the UFO, it vanishes into thin air. When Isaac turns around, he sees an extraterrestrial standing behind him. Isaac squeezes the camera's record button as gently as he can. After a few seconds of staring at Isaac, the alien turns to go. Isaac starts running once the alien departs, but he passes out mid-run. He awakens in a very different location 3 days later. He looks at his camera and sees that there are still pictures of the extraterrestrial and him floating above the Earth. His arm has a peculiar mark on it. After getting home, Isaac meditates while sitting on his bed. As he stares at the TV, it vanishes in front of him. As he reaches for the TV, he discovers that his hand, as though it were in another universe, passes through an unseen barrier. After a minute of concentration, the TV comes back on. In order to confirm that he is the reason of the TV disappearing, Isaac repeats the experiment using his camera. When Isaac visits the doctor, he gets his arm x-rayed. According to the results, he has a broken arm bone, but the break is odd since it is absolutely straight. The bone appears to have been sliced with a knife. Isaac demonstrates Beck his power to make stuff vanish in other realms when he gets to work. The fact that the things have traveled to different dimensions, however, is only visible to Isaac. It is invisible to Beck. Beck is astounded when Isaac plays the extraterrestrial video for him. Beck doesn't think it's a good idea, but Isaac suggests they share the video to their other colleague as well. Isaac, frustrated, returns home and posts the video to a website with the title, Alien Abduction Footage. The next morning, a TV presenter calls Isaac to ask him to conduct a story on the footage he posted. Isaac, a cursory glance at the video reveals that it has received around 1 million views in a single night. He reads the comments and discovers that there are differing views. While some people think the video is authentic, others disagree. Magazines and news organizations phone Isaac throughout the day to invite him in for an interview. He finally concedes and agrees to go on a news station. Isaac plays the video and tells the whole narrative of his kidnapping during the interview. The anchor mocks Isaac, but he believes this will help others see the truth. When Isaac was challenged by an extraterrestrial, she said it was fortuitous that he had a camera. In the days that follow, Isaac's tale is widely reported. While half of the populace believes he is faking it all to attract attention, the other half back him. People start to think he's lying more and more over time. Isaac gets on the internet in the interim and begins reading articles on kidnappings. He finds that the stories of others are very similar to his own. To set up a meeting, he locates a girl named Sarah and messages her. Isaac tells Sarah that there have been extraterrestrial contacts on Earth for a long time. Several scientists have also reported receiving enigmatic signals from space, and they are shown in historical paintings. Isaac is questioned by Sarah regarding his knowledge of the 1979 extraterrestrial kidnapping in Wrangell, Alaska. "I don't know anything," Isaac says. She informs him about the kidnapping of Carl and his disappearance when he chose to make the tale public. In order to encourage others to report kidnappings, Isaac chooses to transmit copies of his video to websites. He is assisted by a man named Keith as he places them in the mailbox. As a writer, Keith claims that he believes it is unjust that Isaac is being criticized by the media. He claims he wants to develop a narrative where Isaac thoroughly explains his viewpoint. After considering Keith's proposal all night, Isaac makes the decision to proceed the following morning. Keith tells him that taking a lie detector test is the best method to verify Isaac's account when he gets to his office. After Isaac accepts, Keith demonstrates how to set up a lie detector for him. When Isaac responds to all of the questions regarding his kidnapping and none of them prove to be falsehoods, Keith's face becomes tight. Without giving a reason, he leaves the office, and Isaac follows him as he sees two guys in agent attire approaching along the corridor. They shoot Isaac when he attempts to flee, causing him to lose consciousness. When Isaac awakens, he discovers that two robots are pulling him. After dragging him inside a white room, the robots tether him to a chair. He also witnesses Sarah being carried into the facility from outside. Keith, who goes by Agent Graves in real life, greets Isaac on a screen in front of him. They will evaluate Isaac's degree of exposure, he is informed. Isaac is urged to concentrate on a variety of items that are presented to him, but to his dismay, nothing occurs. At last, Isaac refuses to cooperate and insists on knowing his and Sarah's whereabouts. When Graves asks Isaac whether he knows Carl's location, Isaac tells a falsehood, claiming to know nothing about Carl. Isaac then fights his way out of his chair and battles the robots. As he gets away, he spots Sarah in a room and somehow uses his thoughts to open the door. When the robots shoot Sarah and Isaac, they flee. They escape from the institution and find themselves in Costa Rica during this time. Given that Sarah and Isaac would probably try to locate Carl and guide them to him, Graves orders his soldiers to pursue them. Isaac claims that if he can gain internet connection, he might be able to locate Carl, with whom he has a strong desire to speak. They are directed to meet Zed, a man who can provide them with internet connection, by a local woman at a diner. Zed, an expert in technology and hacking, is introduced to the two. They must go at that point since the robots are coming to seek for them. Zed leads them to his untraceable internet connection at his home in the woods. The robots are employed by the top-secret International Space Research Program, or ISRP, Zed explains on the way. Despite using every hacking technique at his disposal, Zed is unable to locate any evidence of Carl online or in official documents. Isaac recalls the peculiar signal from Canada that he and Beck discovered. They break into NASA's systems and find out where the odd signal came from. In this manner, they find Carl, and Zed informs them that they may reach him at his home using a functional laptop. Carl initially ignores Zed's video chat, but Zed breaks into his laptop and Isaac shares his kidnapping narrative right away before Carl can shut it down. Isaac claims that that same evening, he received a response after sending a replica of Carl's signal into space. When Carl requests to view the response, Isaac provides it to him. Carl plays the random response's audio after decoding it. A weird voice announces the arrival time and place. They reach Carl's house after 5 days. Carl abruptly turns off his computer. They must visit Carl's residence, according to Isaac. Zed eagerly wishes to participate, but Sarah is hesitant. Zed arranges for them to travel to Canada on a private plane by using his contacts in Costa Rica. In the meantime, Graves has been following Sarah and Isaac for a long time after placing tracking devices on them. Following a lengthy trip, Zed, Sarah, and Isaac reach Carl's residence. Although first wary of them, he eventually accepts them inside his house. He reveals that the ISRP also abducted him after he was taken, but he managed to get out and went into hiding. He has tried to get in touch with the aliens once again for 20 years. He has put in countless hours developing software that converts the aliens' codes into speech and then back into English. Thus, he now has a means of communication with the aliens when they arrive. As they wait for the aliens over the course of the following 2 days, Zed inquisitively examines Carl's equipment while Sarah and Isaac spend some time getting to know one another in the forest. Isaac notices the ground shifting on the day the aliens are supposed to arrive. Carl explains that it's because the aliens are getting closer, so Isaac ventures into the forest to find them. He asks them what they desire after doing so. Carl's translation equipment is then activated as they sit down with the aliens. The aliens claim to have fully mastered all branches of science, including physics, technology, and medicine. They are currently looking for something bigger. They are trying to find out where the universe came from. So why are they researching people? Isaac asks. In response, the aliens say that humans possess a unique aura that is quantifiable. When Isaac sees a vision of Jesus, the aliens ask him who he is. Isaac queries their interest in learning more about him. According to the aliens, he appears to have played a key role in the universe's creation. There is a link between him and human aura. Sarah queries why her and Isaac's arms are marked. Her arm is split open by the gadget the alien takes out, revealing a tracking device. In order to record it, the aliens implant the tracking device into their bodies. Isaac is informed by the aliens that in his planet, seeing is believing. After making so much progress, though, they discover that seeing is truly believing. Graves and his men come out at that point and order Carl to come out. It is revealed that Graves has a particular grudge against Carl since Graves' father was in the truck in front of Carl when he was abducted. Carl is unable to provide Graves with an explanation for why his father was not located. Graves gives his soldiers the command to shoot Carl. In her haste to see how Carl is doing, Sarah is also shot. Isaac is told by the alien to concentrate and use his senses. When he does, the whole home is taken to another dimension. In order to get everyone away from Graves and his soldiers, he is able to teleport them to another reality. After that, the aliens cure Carl and Sarah using their abilities. After passing Graves, they all flee in the spacecraft. On a secluded island, Isaac and Sarah had established a typical existence 6 months later. Now they are a couple. Zed and Carl, meantime, have established a covert tech company. Graves' unlawful behavior at Carl's residence led to his expulsion from ISRP. Isaac is still consistently creating video diaries. The final chapter. I appreciate you watching.